Hello everyone. I would firstly like to apologize for not being physically there to make my contribution towards this presentation. I am going to briefly touch on obesity and low academic achievement as it pertains to globalization and the education system in Trinidad and Tobago. Just to give you an idea of how the response will be formulated, firstly, we would need to understand obesity and how does globalization impact obesity. And then from that point, we'll be able to move forward to see how does obesity contribute towards low academic achievements in our schools. Researchers have argued that globalization has promoted obesity by speeding the nutrition transition. Here I have a few factors that prove that globalization has contributed in some form towards obesity. Firstly, we look at reduced energy expenditure. This simply means that there is a reduction in physical activity, and in return, because of technology, obesity can be promoted. Secondly, we have a decline in relative food prices. Where there is a decline in particular food prices, you would realize that consumption would be encouraged in that particular food group. Thirdly, we have socio-economic status. It has been said that unskilled occupations, or men and women that fall in the category of unskilled occupations, are more likely to be morbidly obese than those that fall into professional groups. Fourthly, we have urbanization, and that is very straightforward. Where we have more food options, you are expected to see more food consumption. And my fifth and final point speaks about women in the workforce. These women out in the workforce, they usually have less time to devote towards food preparation. There is a clear link between obesity and low academic performance. We often pay attention to the physical consequences of obesity and we don't focus more so, for example, with child obesity, on the emotional and psychological problems that students may face when they are obese. For example, these students are bullied, they are tortured, they are even teased. In addition, their self-esteem is usually lowered, and this low self-esteem could lead into a lot of different emotions such as loneliness and sadness, and these kids can also start participating in high risk behaviors such as smoking and alcohol consumption. And yes, we as teachers, we have seen this happening in our schools, not more so in our primary schools, but in our secondary school system, we have. And to further continue, obesity also contributes to student absenteeism. There are a lot of health related issues that are associated with obesity, such as asthma, joint problems, depression, etc. And we would realize that when students go through these things on a daily basis and they constantly need to seek medical attention, they will be absent from school. And once you are absent from school, it therefore means that you are putting yourself at risk to miss out a new topic that has been taught on that day. And imagine if students are absent on a number of days per month, right? This means that at the end of the term, if they don't take the time to get notes or understand something that was taught previously, they would inevitably perform bad or have a low academic achievement at the end of those particular term tests. So to pull everything together, we know that globalization has contributed or is a contributor towards obesity, and obesity in return, child obesity to be more specific, has a great impact on low academic achievement in our school system. And as I said earlier, there are physical, emotional, social, psychological problems that these students go through, which at the end result in them performing poorly in their term tests. And let me take away a bit from being so specific towards term tests. but generally all these factors are contributors to why obese children in our schools have low academic achievement. I now pass you back to my group members.